Avast, me hearties. It's time to hoist the colors and set sail for an experience that Talk Like a Pirate Day really didn't prepare us for. This is Hard Choices, the podcast that ranks the fuckability of fictional characters looking for the zenith, median, and nadir in a given universe. But really, it's about all the timbers we shivered along the way. This month, we're plunging our swords into Our Flag Means Death. I'm Megan Bob, and I'll be the one captaining the ship this evening. Joining me on the crew is an old hand at sailing these waters, James D'Amato. James!
Avast!
Yes! Do you have a favorite historical pirate or pirate fact?
I mean, that favorite historical pirate is appearing on this very ranking. That's Zheng Yishao, baby!
Yeah.
The greatest pirate to ever live!
Oh, man. I think she also smoked, which is also like a
I'm going to tell you, Bob,
lady pirate
most pirates
smoking.
smoked.
Yeah. Oh, but it's hotter when she does it, though. Now, we're also very fortunate to be joined by a pair of landlubbers turned scurvy dogs like the rest of us at Hard Choices. I am so very pleased to welcome podcaster Mel D'Amato. Mel, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a favorite historical pirate or pirate fact?
Oh, God. I did not come prepared with that, but
That's okay.
I will say that the show led me to be very curious and fall in love with Anne Bonny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck.
And Mary Read. Both of them. Honestly, that's a great sandwich.
I mean, the fact that they're part of a historical throuple is like...
Right?
Yeah. Anne Bonny and Mary Read
And
banged
Jack
each other,
Rackham.
and unfortunately, Jack Rackham was involved.
He was also in the room.
He was also there.
And completing our crew of four is podcaster, writer, dialect coach, actor, horse girl. Look, there was a website I got lost.
Yeah.
It's Allie Grauer. Allie, welcome to the show.
Arr.
Yes! I want ours for everybody. Do
Famously,
you
gorgeously,
have-
my initials are ARG, so I technically have been a pirate the whole time.
Ooh, I
Oh my
like
God.
that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Now, do you have a favorite historical pirate or pirate fact or look?
Yes. So many, like James, so many. But for many, many years, I was a diehard Grace O'Malley stan, Granuel.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck,
Love her.
yeah.
Love her. But as an Elizabethan reenactor myself, I do have to have a little bit of a something for Sir Walter Raleigh.
Embarrassing.
Oh, it's the beard.
And it's not at all because
He looks
your
like my
now
husband. Yeah.
Yeah.
has played
Oh
him
boy.
before.
Yeah, he does. He sure does.
Okay.
Anyway,
Wasn't he playing him when you first met?
I cannot address that question at this time.
Fun
Allie,
fact.
I need to drag you over to the corner really quick just to
Okay,
ask you a
yeah.
horse girl question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
I'm
under
here.
the table.
Mhm.
What's your favorite horse breed?
Oh my god.
I know they're all good horses.
How can you-
All
so
of them
I'm
are
deeply
really
fond
good.
of the American Mustang, which is a complicated
Okay,
answer
it's
to
a
that
good
question
horse.
because of how they are
Yeah.
related to Spanish breeds because they came over from
Right?
Spain and were shipwrecked along the American coastline.
Such a
But-
dramatic
Yeah.
start.
I have had really good relationships actually with Frisians in my life, and I'm very fond
Oh
of
my
them.
God, you met a Frisian?
I've ridden them a couple times.
Holy
no
fuck.
big deal.
It's like a
BD.
not me name dropping the Frisians on this podcast about
That
pirates.
you holy shit. I didn't know that you had
yeah.
and you rode
Oh,
a Frisian as
wow.
a queen, right?
No,
Or-
I rode a Pura Raza España as a queen, which is commonly referred to as an Andalusian.
Oh
But
my God.
I've ridden Andalusian. I have, Andalusians are pricks. We'll be honest. And Frisians are like toddlers most of the time.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is fun, except they're like 80
I like a
feet
dumb
tall and they're
horse.
bouncy. So like you have to work really hard to be up there because they're bouncy. But they're very funny and sweet. And occasionally you get a sweet Andalusian as well. But mostly the Andalusians that I dealt with were pricks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
you're
for,
welcome.
for
Is
Horse
that,
Minute.
is that a good answer? Is that
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
No, that's really good. Thank you.
Amazing.
I'm like, I want
It feels
pictures
the
of these
same.
fucking Frisians that you met.
I'll send you some.
But okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Now that we've met our crew, it's time to hit the high seas and cause trouble. But we can't do that without checking the navigational charts that help us guide our boners. That's right. We need the definition of fuckability. James, would you please take the wheel for this one?
Fuckability be not about what they look like. It's about what they fuck like. So assume ye are into they, and they are into ye. How good is the sex, and what is it like?
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Now, with our compasses at the ready, we can dive into the characters we'll be fucking tonight. But first, let's pay our respects to some honorable mentions that we had to leave at port.
Number 1, Mary Bonnet, Steed's former wife who blossoms after Steed runs away to sea. Sometimes your husband leaves, and you end up having the hottest sex of your life, discovering your artistic side, and raising a beautiful family, actually. You love to see it.
Number 2, Geraldo, the 19th of Spanish Jackie's husbands. He's into humiliation and doesn't mind a woman with a lot of lovers. Nice.
Number 3, Chief Mabo, the chief of the Mabo people who distrusts white people after seeing them do some royally fucked up shit. Clearly, a man with his finger on the pulse.
Number 4, Gabriel and Antoinette. Whether or not you want to be the filling in this sandwich is going to depend entirely on your yuck versus yum feelings about incest, aka the flowers in the attic test.
Number 5, Jack Rackham, a.k.a. Calico Jack. Asshole drunkard who loves whippies, yardies, and pelting people with coconuts. Also the killer of Carl the Seagull. Rip. That said, he's got a big mustache and is played by Will Arnett, so there's still a baseline level of maybe I would fuck this guy going on.
Number 6, Archie, the wildest party animal on the Revenge. Archie once cut her way out of a snake on her birthday. To be fair, she was in the snake cult, and that may have been how everyone's birthday was celebrated. But either way, we're pretty sure that Archie put some extra mustard on the experience.
Number 7, Mary Reed and Anne Bonny. We barely get to spend a day with these two, but the impression they make is one of love grown toxic. But look, let those who have never considered torching their house as an homage of twisted love to their partner cast the first stone.
Number 8, Benjamin Ben Hornigold. We meet Hornigold inside of Ed's subconscious while he lies between life and death. The real Hornigold was the terror of Blackbeard's nightmares. This guy just wants to hang out and make soup. I'm into this peepum, so while I'm trying to book passage to the gravy basket, we got to get on with the list. Fuck, he was so hot! Okay. All right, and now the list of 19 characters that we will be inviting back to our hammocks.
Number 1, Steed Bonnet, a soft-hearted and somewhat bumbling aristocrat who turns his back on domestic life to become a gentleman pirate. Also to get railed by Blackbeard, but look, a lot of us would do much, much worse than leave our family if it meant fucking beardy Taika Waititi.
Number 2, Edward Ed Teach, or Blackbeard, famed pirate with a long list of crimes who starts out the series looking for a way to retire from the high seas. It turns out that getting there involves plotting to kill Steed Bonnet, falling in love with him, losing him, torching his life to shit, being murdered by his crew, coming back from the dead, getting back with Steed, killing a ton of British soldiers. There is an applause break there. And then finally retiring to open an inn with the love of his goddamn life. #Glob, #spoiler warning.
So true.
Nathaniel Buttons, the mystical first mate of Steed Bonnet, often seen wearing Carl the Seagull, basking naked in the moonlight, or occasionally biting off someone's finger. You wouldn't think that the guy who successfully achieves his dream of avian transmogrification is the one to get life advice from, but he is. That's either a sick burn on everyone else, or really high praise for seagulls.
Number 4, Frenchie. Originally a member of Steed's crew and then kept on by Blackbeard during his self-destructive, I hate my boyfriend and I miss him so much killing spree. Frenchie is a real team player and always willing to help out a friend. He also has a face that says, I really, really hope that today is a nice day and we don't have to do any murders, which on this list may or may not be a plus.
Number 5, Oluwande Budari. Not just a cinnamon roll, the cinnamon roll. He has a boatmance with fellow crew member Jim, accepting them and their gender completely, but after they're separated, he ends up with Pirate Queen Zhang Yichao after she falls for his cinnamon ways. He's so sweet, even Auntie doesn't hate him. Eventually.
Number 6, Lucius Spriggs. Lucius acts as Steed's scribe aboard the Revenge, since, unlike most of the crew, he can read and write. Double threat. He goes through some rough shit after Blackbeard chucks him off the ship, but with the help of his eventual husband, Black Pete, he's able to heal. Or at least stop drawing pictures of dogs with Blackbeard's face, which in pre-therapy world is a pretty fucking good result.
Number 7. Jim Jimenez. Raised by a violent nun, this genderqueer pirate goes on to avenge the death of their father and eventually winds up with Steed's crew on the Revenge. They're probably the only properly qualified pirate on the crew. Great at throwing knives, starting shit, and definitely finishing shit, like permanently finishing it. Step on me.
Number 8, Black Pete. Pete is quick to pick up that Steed isn't much of a pirate and angles for mutiny early on. With some time, though, he comes to love life on the Revenge, falling for Lucius and marrying him. It's maybe the 4th best face turn in the show, but look, Our Flag Means Death contains unprecedented levels of heartwarming, so it's really just an honor to be nominated.
Number 9, Wee John Feeney. He's a member of Steed's crew who has both an interest in fire and the strongest drag game the 18th century has ever seen. Yes, queen.
Number 10, Captain Nigel Badminton. The captain of the British Navy was the childhood nemesis of Stede Bonnet, an adulthood accidental murder victim of Stede Bonnet. His ghost haunts Steed for a time, but after Steed is absolved of guilt, Badminton is left marooned on the island of the Mabo people, which is apparently a thing you can do to a ghost. The more you know.
11. Israel Izzy Hands, Blackbeard's first mate and the man who taught Ed everything he knows. Initially, he disapproves of Steed and Ed's relationship so much that he tries to do everything possible to end it. Ultimately, he sees that they're good for each other, and even that being on the Revenge is good for him too. Does he maybe lose a leg to Blackbeard in the process? Mind your own fucking business, twatty.
Number 12, Ivan. Ivan is a member of Blackbeard's crew who generally hangs out with Fang. He's notable among the crew for disliking waste. Always check a body for gold teeth when looting. Always. He dies on a raid with Blackbeard, who doesn't even give a shit. Truly, the height of sexy pirate privilege is having so many sexy pirates around that you don't even care when one bites it.
Number 13, Kevin/Fang. He's descended from a long line of Kevins, but generally known only as Fang. It's not totally clear how he manages to have a life in Blackbeard's crew. He can certainly kill a motherfucker, but he doesn't really like violence and cries often when upsetting things happen. Me too.
Right.
That said, he's not afraid to tell Blackbeard he's a dick or pose nude for one of Lucius's drawings. That's right. Never let being the one who cries easily stop you from being a badass.
Number 14, Roach. The chef, and not coincidentally, surgeon aboard the Revenge. Roach isn't the person you'd want sewing you up, as he claims to enjoy torture, both giving and receiving, but he's definitely the person you want messing around in the kitchen, because this goddamn genius invented peanut butter.
Number 15, the Swede. The Swede is sweet and naive, which is maybe why Spanish Jackie had to add him to her husband collection as husband number 20. Jackie seems to genuinely like him, though, possibly because of his massage skills, or possibly because he fucks like a jackhammer.
Number 16, Spanish Jackie. Owner of a bar on the Republic of Pirates and owner of 20 husbands, give or take a few, Spanish Jackie is a force to be reckoned with, as her jar of noses can attest to. You can swing by her place to quench your thirst, but there is every chance that you'll end up quenching hers.
Number 17, Cheng Yi Sao. Originally posing on the island of pirates as a soup vendor, she's actually the pirate queen who brought all of China under her control. Although it conflicts with her role as pirate queen, she is super into Olu. But career versus love can only be a problem for so long when you're a certified sword-wielding badass.
Number 18, Auntie, Zheng Yisao's irritable auntie who really cannot understand why everyone else is so goddamn incompetent. She starts out hostile to the crew of the Revenge, but warms to them after Jim and Olu help her with a serious wound. A social move that is no doubt straight out of the 18th century version of how to win friends and influence people.
And number 19, Richard Ricky Baines. This minor member of royalty fucked around and found out when Jackie took his nose for her nose jar after he helped Steed steal some of her shit. You'll be shocked to learn that Ricky is kind of an asshole.
With that complete, we're off, but the ship is becalmed. Hardly a breeze to be had. Oh, that's right. We always start with the median, the dead middle of the pack in our list. Is that a bad place to be? Becalmed? I think that depends a hell of a lot on who we have as our medians. So let's find out. Allie, I introduced you last. Would you please tell us who your median is? And in this case, that will be your number 10.
My number 10 is Ivan.
Okay.
Okay. And why?
Oh, and why?
Why is Ivan like a completely
This is what I
mid-fuck in
wrote.
your- yeah.
This is what I've got. Ivan, middle of the pack. He's probably a little too rough, but he's definitely competent.
There we go.
Okay. I see this. Mel, who do you have as your median?
My median is Olu. Olu is a little too soft and gentle for my tastes. And I think that he would just care too much and be a little smothering.
Okay.
James, what about you?
For my middle of the pack, we've got Wee John Feeney. Thinking about him, I'm not strongly drawn towards him. I'm not repelled away from him. I kind of think the best part would be cuddling afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So, when the best part of the sex isn't the sex itself, that doesn't speak volumes. So middle of the pack, because I think that cuddle is a pretty good cuddle.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay, my number 10 is Lucius Spriggs. I want to slap him so fucking bad. He looks exactly like the type he's gonna fucking smile. Like, he's gonna be in the middle of fucking saying some shit. Slap him. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Downside, seems like such a goddamn talker during sex, but that is what gags are for. Okay. Now we are gonna move on down the list to number 11. All right, Allie, who is your number 11?
Number 11 is Kevin/Fang. Kevin is soft in the best possible way. He might be a little on the timid side. Maybe he's astonished that you're even interested in him. But he'll give it everything he's got and hold you gently afterwards.
Sorry, I didn't expect that to get me in this way. I have
He's
my own
soft.
Kevin
I
feelings.
love him.
I know. God damn, he's so good. All right, Mel, you're number 11.
Number 11 for me is Frenchie. He seems like a switch.
Okay.
He's very empathetic and will follow your lead. But I'm going to be honest, the way that he behaves, it just seems like he's doing what he can to keep his place in the world and in the crew. And I think he'd probably just be fine at sex.
My number 11 is also Frenchie.
Hey.
Not into musicians. That's it.
Fair enough.
That's real.
You don't want him to play you a little song after fucking?
I truly don't.
It's so interesting.
Am I in a situation where I want a dude to play his guitar for me? Absolutely not.
You don't want to hear Wonderwall?
I want to push you around.
Well, I will.
Thank you for playing with me in the space.
All right, my number 11 is Jim. I know I'm going to get shit for this later. Look, it's not a negative ranking. I feel like we're going to wrestle.
It's not.
I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose real bad. I'm going to lose so fucking bad because it is going to get a little too serious. Thankfully, losing at sex wrestles is one of my favorite pastimes. I know. It's a good way to lose.
It's a great way to lose.
Amen. All right, on to number 12. Allie, you're number 12.
Number 12 is Nathaniel Buttons. This is a sailor who has seen some shit. But more importantly, he's done everything. Nothing surprises him.
Ooh,
He's
interesting
game for
take.
whatever you think will be a good time, but he's not going to decide.
Interesting.
Oh,
Fascinating.
shit.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Mel, you're
Like
number 12.
respect on the name of Buttons.
Sure.
But-
Yeah. No, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my number 12 is Lucius. Lucius really comes off as a pillow princess. Definitely a brat and a bottom.
Jesus.
And that brats just don't really appeal to me.
Mm.
You okay, Allie?
Yes, I'm fine. I will think of a way to explain how I'm feeling later.
Well, when you can't say it in words, you say it with your body. We are going to move on to my number 12, which is Fang, which I think surprising take to me that Fang ended up this low on the list. He has a lot of the qualities of the people above him, right? Like he is very sweet. He has the benefit of having a more rough exterior. I think there is some passion in his fucking. The reason he ended up this low is I am afraid that I would break his heart. Like, I got to imagine that, like, because he's so sincere, there is a very real chance of him getting very invested. And it's like, you can have sex with him maybe 3 times. And he's like potato chips. You're going to want to keep coming back. But you'll break his heart if you do it too much and then walk away.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Can't
The responsibility.
Don't want to hurt that man.
He'd probably kill you, to be honest.
That's true. That's
He'll
also a
cry while
problem.
he's doing it, though. He'll be sobbing his
Yeah.
eyes out. Yeah.
I can't believe I have to kill you
The
now.
killing is not going to hurt as bad as
The crying.
The crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 12 is Wee John Feeney. Look. I lived in Northern Ireland for a year and studied abroad. So there are associations that I have with that accent that I suspect are specific to me. That said, I did not fuck a drag queen in Northern Ireland yet. The vibe I get is that it is dramatic, probably a little confrontational. You have to click into the vibe or get the fuck out. Also, I want that cuddle. I get big. You do not get to stay the night, though. Like, I think you get kicked out of that hammock.
Really?
I kind of
Interesting.
That's my read on it. I don't know, man.
Wee John does have moments in the show of like bitchiness.
Yes.
And like, that could be it.
Yeah, I can. Well, look, we'll come back to it and let's unpack that and really try to get to know this.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
will.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
All right, on to number 13. Allie, you're number 13.
Number 13 is Lucius. Cheeky and fun, lots of laughing, maybe too much laughing.
Oh.
And maybe he gets embarrassed by something. And then he's like mad at you about it. And then you're outraged because he didn't even tell you that was going to be a thing for him. I don't know.
Now I'm like, can he get into being embarrassed? Because he would be fun to do that with, but I think he'd hate it.
He'd be mad. He'd take it personally.
Oh, but that only makes me want to do it more, which is bad. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mel, you're number 13.
Number 13 for me is Kevin/Fang.
Okay.
I think that he would be a lot of fun, but it would be pretty low key. You'd spend the day inside cuddling and talking between fooling around. And that sounds really, really nice and low key. However, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's really interesting so far that we're saying a lot of the same names in slightly different order.
Yeah.
But very,
There's
very slight
close,
nuances here. That's interesting.
Sometimes we get a lot of consensus in the middle of the list because the middle seems to be a place where everybody's like, I don't really know, but I feel a way, but not a strong way.
Yeah.
Sure.
James, you're number 13.
My number 13 starts the portion of the list that is really informed mostly by annoying. And so it's Black Pete.
Yes.
He just, I think he has perfectly average, serviceable sex. He definitely talks about how he's so fucking good at it and has just middle of the road sex. And like, Can you imagine if he tried to dirty talk and how annoying that would be?
So annoying.
Get it away. No, thank you.
No,
We're done here. Absolutely not.
Okay, look. I don't know why I'm defending myself now. I should wait. This is a different part of the show. Let's unpack that as basically Bob defends himself.
Cannot wait to find out where Blackbeard is. Bob.
I have much worse decisions because here I am with number 13, Nigel Badminton.
Oh,
wow.
God.
He's so high on the list for
High
you.
on the list.
Hold on. That's better. Okay. So being treated like a fleshlight that can moan isn't necessarily my idea of a good time. But come on, go with me. The voyeurism of watching some asshole be his most unguarded self because he thinks you don't matter. Like there's something about it. There's something about getting to know exactly the kind of pathetic grunt a self-important man makes when he comes. Like it's not an orgasm, but there's a satisfaction there.
That's a very enticing way to put that.
Interesting.
There's not nothing.
I feel like my answer for we'll wait. I'll wait to comment on it.
Mhm.
All right, on to number 14 after my
Oh my
bad
God.
decisions. Everybody's already going, oh, Bob, rethink your life choices. I know you're going to
Bob,
therapy,
no.
but can you go more? Okay. Allie, you're number 14.
Number 14 is Roach.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a little scatterbrained, a little bit of a mess, but it's not terrible.
Oh,
It's all right.
Fair enough.
all right. Mel, you're number 14.
Number 14 for me is Auntie, strictly because she will tell you when you are in the mood.
Ooh.
Wait, that's so
And
funny.
why is she so low?
Why is
I
she
know,
so low?
Because I don't like to be told when to be in the mood.
Ooh, okay.
Okay,
that
so
makes
you
sense.
Yeah.
so you have personalized these lenses then.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the
I think
point?
that's part of the point. Is
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I've
everybody
tried to
does
be as
it
objective
differently.
as I can.
we can only be so
no.
objective.
There's-
Yes, no, that's true, and I
It's-
think that that's fair.
It's going to become very clear what my preferences are by the end of this
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
Sure.
Some people
yeah, some
try
of
to
these
do it-
paragraphs are pretty long for me.
Some people do completely as objective as they possibly can, like
Yeah.
to an objective standard, and other people are like, this is
No, that's
purely
fine.
based on what I like. So and then other
I think
people
that's
like
exciting
myself,
to talk about.
I move back and forth randomly, so my lists mean nothing to anyone but me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Perfect.
Okay, James, you're number 14.
My number 14 is Ivan.
And
And he's
twinsies.
here because he strikes me as like Fang without the soft side. And you'd think
Mhm.
that would eliminate my problem, which is I don't want to break someone's heart. The issue is there's none of Fang's earnest warmth. Ivan is someone who fucks for survival, which kind of means fucking without passion. Therefore, I don't think it can be very good.
My number 14 is also Ivan. This is a very simple decision for me. He seems like he can lift me up and fuck me against the wall. More importantly, he seems like he'll definitely do it. Yay.
That's so fair. That's so
I mean,
fair.
there's nothing else there. It's just a wall fuck. All right, on to number 15. Allie, you're number 15.
My number 15 is Steed Bonnet.
Wow.
Here's why.
Oh, uh-huh.
Steed Bonnet has this event choreographed in his mind
God, you're right.
to the second.
Oh, no.
He has no idea what he's doing, but he thinks he does.
Oh, dear.
And if any tiny little thing deviates from that choreography, he has to go back and start over.
Oh, no.
That's funny.
And he
Yeah.
will keep trying because by God, he wants to be good to you.
Oh.
But it is a mess. Maybe no one finishes. It's not satisfying.
Allie, I feel like you are the Cassandra in this situation.
What do you mean?
I feel like Steed Bonnet is going to rank higher for everybody else, and we are not going to heed your warning.
Yeah.
Wow.
I tried though.
Wow.
Powerful.
Thank you.
All right, Mel, you're number 15.
My number 15 is Zhang Zisao.
Yi.
Zhang Yisao.
There it is.
Because she will expect you to be in the mood when she is, even if you're not.
Mm.
And she just seems like the type of person that will absolutely leave you hanging if it's inconvenient for her.
Ah. Sorry, I went on a little journey there.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were kombucha girl for a minute.
I was like,
Huh?
wait, that could be fun.
Well,
Depends on the moment.
Less.
All right, James, you're number 15.
It's Roach, and primarily because I don't think he's catering the encounter. I did not factor that in. If there's, catering involved, it would rank higher. But, a little annoying, a little scatterbrained. I don't think bringing anything special to the table. And it's not like the appeal for a Black Pete encounter, who is objectively more annoying, is that there might be some satisfaction in hitting Black Pete. There's no satisfaction in hitting Roach. I would feel bad.
Yeah.
I mean, tough but fair. My number 15 is Olu. I want you to imagine asking this man to slap you during sex.
Sure.
The crinkle of faint panic on his face as he isn't sure how to handle.
And that
this
does nothing for you?
Yeah.
I get. You know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I've just been looking at this magic eye wrong. Maybe you're right. Well, we'll come back to that. But because what I wrote after that is already I've lost my boner. But now I'm still.
Well, kombucha girl.
Okay, yeah, I know a lot of these. All right, on to number 16. Okay, Allie, you're number 16.
Number 16 is Black Pete. I think he cries a lot, actually.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
And he takes everything personally. So when you ask for adjustments or offer suggestions or bring something into the mix, he gets
So
really
right.
defensive.
So right.
And shuts down.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
You should say it.
Thank you.
All right, Mel, you're number 16.
My number 16 is Roach, because he's very probably a sociopath. And he probably wants to do some really weird stuff that I would not be into.
All right, James, you're number 16.
My number 16, we get to the truly wretched part of the list as I introduce Israel Izzy Hands.
Yes, James, yes!
That's okay. More for me. I'm
Yes,
fine.
yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
fine.
Here's the thing. I think
Is this a big
only I guess this is a little bit of a big feels. The only conceivable situation where I think he can have good sex is with Blackbeard. That's the only thing he's fucking passionate about at all. The whole second season is him figuring out how to care about anything else, including himself.
Outside of that, yeah.
And he's a bitch. He's just a bitch.
He's a bitch, James.
It's not it's not going to be fun
No.
to hit him. It didn't even really satisfy Blackbeard to cut his fucking toe off.
Didn't!
If Blackbeard can't solve a problem by cutting his toe off, how am I going to solve a boner by slapping him in the face? Impossible.
Incredible.
So I guess Tumblr is wrong. And here's another thing.
Let's go. Shit.
I am not ashamed to come out and say I'm anti-Israel. Disagree with me now, Tumblr.
Oh my
Disagree with me
God.
now.
Jesus Christ. All right. My number 16 is Steed Bonnet. He's gonna yes and me in the wrong way. I want to be told no to something and then get to pout about it. He's gonna see me pout and then give in. Gonna just give in. And he isn't even incompetent enough. He's incompetent, but not enough to come in my eye. This motherfucker. That said, I feel like he does give you a hot towel afterwards, and that is not
for sure.
nothing. I will take a hot look.
Wow.
Somebody could fire me from my job, and if I was offered a hot towel afterwards, I'd be like, you know what? This was not that bad.
Thank you so much.
actually.
This was nice.
Life is very simple. Warm, moist things that you can just gently wipe your face with, and you're like, you know what? This is okay. This Wednesday,
I feel better.
it's all right.
Yeah.
All right, number 17. Allie, you're number
God.
17.
Israel Izzy Hands.
Say it!
Here's what I got. Desperate.
Mm.
Dirty, but not in a
Yum.
hot way. He cries at least twice.
Yes.
This is not a man who is ready to give or receive.
Wow, yeah.
Boy.
All right, Mel, go off.
Oh, God. This is... When we get to the top ones, we're going to have problems. My number 17 is Ivan. Because 1, I don't know very much about him. 2, all I know is that he's a member of Blackbeard's crew, and he probably has done some fucked up shit and would like to do more fucked up shit, and that's not really what I'm into.
That's not the vibe.
James?
My number 17 is the Swede. And here's the thing. There's like canonically some establishment that he knows his way around a bedroom. My problem is I am afraid that you could be kissing the Swede and come away with teeth in your mouth.
Oh! Ooh.
My toes curled in a bad way just now.
It's just I cannot get over the scurvy episode. I can't at all. I kind of feel like it would be fucking like a slapstick bit where he'd just be falling apart in my hands. I can't.
Ooh.
I can't be responsible for that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My number 17 is Zheng Yisao. I feel like we're just not going to communicate well. She's always trying to manage people. I'm also an inveterate people manager. This is how we end up having sex that each of us thought the other felt really strongly about when it turns out that neither of us felt really strongly about it. All right, number 18. Allie, go off.
Captain Nigel Badminton. This man can't get it up. Why do you think he's so angry?
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No way. Although I will say, Bob, you made a great point about the kind of like niche voyeurism of being able to see behind whatever's going on the surface. That's very enticing. If this were a different villain character, absolutely I'm there.
Oh, yeah.
But this guy, no.
Yeah.
No, not this guy.
You should tell him, Allie. You
Not
should tell
this
them.
guy. Thank you.
We should talk another time about villains who it's worth fucking them because they're awful. Okay, Mel, you're number 18.
My number 18 is Ricky Baines. He's just got this air about him that he is only interested in himself, doesn't care about what you want. He hears you, but he doesn't listen. And the sex is probably real boring.
Yes, Mel. Yes.
My number 18 is also Ricky Baines.
Nice.
British.
Yeah. Nice.
That's done.
Oof.
Jesus.
Roasted. All right. My number 18 is Auntie because she's going to yell at me and not in a fun way. I also feel like before any encounter of any kind, whether or not it's relevant, she inspects your nails and nail length.
That's true because she's prudent.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's not that's not hot, but it ain't hot enough to like stop with the yelling part of it. So
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
All right, on to the bottom of the list, the people we really don't want to fuck at all. Okay, Allie, who do
Number
you really
19.
not want to fuck? Yeah.
Ricky Baines. Absolutely not. He lies. He manipulates you into thinking it's all good. And then he yells at you about things you're completely not in control of, out of left field while you're doing something. It's unstable and unpleasant. Goodbye.
Trash. Okay, Mel, you're number 19.
Nigel Badminton. He's a sadist, and I don't want anything to do with that. I think he would make you beg, and he may still not give you what you want. And I wrote down orgasm not guaranteed. Big no thanks.
Not even promised.
Yeah.
My number 19 is also Captain Nigel Badminton. Like, so people have talked about him being a villain, or, you know, Bob has floated the possibility of being used as a fleshlight. Here's the problem. Not that deep. The man does not have that much substance behind his villainy to summon forth the passion to use someone as a fleshlight. Second, British.
Yeah.
British. You think a man of British heritage is going to use someone as a fleshlight, knows how to use a fleshlight? He'll use you as a fleshlight to adorn his nightstand. That's all he knows what to do with it. You'll collect dust.
Oh no! That's my least
Not
favorite
good.
thing to collect. Okay. All right, my number 19, Ricky Baines. This is the guy.
Fuck this
Like,
dude.
This
you
guy
fuck
sucks.
him because his parents have a summer house that you can fuck in, and like maybe that seems like it's gonna be something. It is nothing. It's nothing. No amount of hot tub, pool table, sunroom, rec room, bar. None of these are gonna make up for the fact that he is gonna pout if he doesn't get what he wants, and he's not even gonna pout in a cute way like I do. The worst.
Oh my God. You're so right.
Oh, yes.
You're so right.
This is it. We're down in Davy Jones's locker, and I think I speak for all of us when I say this place kind of sucks. Luckily, we can reach the surface if we just start heading back up the list. Let's start that paddle towards the light with my number 9. Black Pete. Okay. Look, according to the show, he can go all day long. I don't know whether this is edging. Maybe he can just go a lot both. Regardless, I am here for it. What I do kind of love is the domestic vibes that he gives off. Like, I just feel like he's the kind of guy who you celebrate trash day together by like feeling each other up out by the trash can, and I can get into that. I think it's cute. Thank you. All right, Mel, hit me with your number 9.
My number 9 is Blackbeard.
Whoa.
I think, here's the reasons. I think that he would be too aggressive the first time.
Ooh.
I think he's a little bit of a masochist, which is not my vibe. But, the positives are he will do literally anything kinky, whether or not there is risk of death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whippies.
Yes, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, Allie, what about you?
Number 9 is Wee John Feeney.
Mm-hmm.
He is the ultimate Netflix and chill. He doesn't put any expectations on you. He'll get you ice cream, your favorite flavor, and he'll sit and he'll watch the 1995 BBC Pride and Prejudice in its entirety, all 6 hours with you, while knitting you a sweater. If you want to get frisky, he'll indulge you. He's not going to make the first move, but if you ask, he'll say yes, and he'll cuddle afterwards.
Oh, good one, Allie.
Wow. All right, James, go for it.
My number 9 was Lucius Spriggs. Now, there's a lot negative that can be said about Lucius. The thing is, he's a gossip and a talker. So there is a very real chance that during the act, he's going to want to gossip. And the thing with a talker is you can command them to speak and then make it really difficult for them. And that's fun, actually.
Huh.
Oh, genius. Fucking genius. All right. On to number 8. My number 8 is Roach. I think Roach fucks like he's hungry for it. That's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
sure.
It's not that finesse is worth nothing, but ultimately, wouldn't you rather cook for somebody who actually wants to like eat? Also, this is underrated and maybe controversial. I think Roach can leer. Look, if you've never been leered at so hard you just went, I don't know what to tell you. A good leer?
I don't think I want that from him.
No, but I mean, we can't pick. There's only, not everybody has the gift, James. Not everybody has the gift. Okay, Mel, you're number 8.
My number 8 is the Swede.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, number 1, we said it earlier, apparently fucks like a jackhammer. I think that he would be thoughtful in ways you wouldn't expect.
Ooh.
I think he would do anything for you if you treat him well. And he's just kind of a soft boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, Allie, what about you?
Zheng Yi Sao.
Mm-hmm.
She has some aggression to work on, but if she remembers to slow down and establish some ground rules first, you are going to have the best time together. She might think she understands the vibe, but she probably needs you to clarify a few things, like kind of as you go along. She probably thinks you want her to take charge, but I bet if you take the helm, she'll totally melt in your arms.
Ooh. All right, James, you're number 8.
My number 8 is Nathaniel Buttons. And I have big feels about this.
Yeah.
This is about as far as a human being can take a novelty fuck. Like, he fucks in weird spiritual ways.
Yeah.
And they're not any sort of weird spirituality that we're familiar with. This goes way beyond tantric. He moonbathes regularly.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's like coming from a truly bizarre spiritual practice. He communicates with birds. If he gets to the bedroom, he's doing some freak shit that you cannot begin to have the imagination for. So like he sits on the border between human fucking and monster fucking. So I don't necessarily know that is going to result in a good time, but it will be an interesting time.
That's totally fair.
All right, on to number 7. My number 7 is the Swede. Sometimes you just want to be fucked by a cheerful, loving, dedicated jackhammer who wants nice things for you and all of your other husbands. Also,
Absolutely.
a man that likes to be called sugar balls. That is so fucking good. Like, not everybody can give you that, but the Swede can.
Sure.
All right, Mel, you're number 7.
Number 7 for me is Wee John. Because he could probably throw me.
Yeah.
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 Like a fucking caber toss.
Exactly. He probably enjoys role play, and he would probably make you beg for fun. I think that you would play dress up, do a little role play, and then fuck.
All right, Allie, what about you?
My number 7 is Olu. I have big feels about this. Olu would be so soft and so gentle and kind and strong.
Yeah.
Olu would love you right. All the soft things and all the rough things with consent. And he'll blush about it, which is so cute. Tender. Kind. Fair. Good. And I feel like it would be really nice to hold his hand.
Oh my God. Sorry.
I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I see a lot of myself in Olu, and I think that would be very soft.
The soft, so sweet. James, you're number 7.
My number 7 is Auntie. Now, I've heard a lot of slander in these parts about people who are afraid that she'll yell at you or are worried about not living up to her standards. It sounds like a fucking skill issue, folks. If you perform competently, she respects competence. I don't expect to be showered in praise by Auntie. I expect an approving nod.
Yes!
And here's the thing. She will be annoyed with me. And she'll be annoyed with me because I will be smug going into that encounter and she will not find one hair out of fucking place. I guarantee.
Yes!
God damn.
It's so good.
All right. On to number 6. I have big feels, and these big feels are about Frenchie.
Oh.
My dream is to see his slightly worried frown and say, "Oh my God, is everything okay? Do you need a blowjob?" Which I think people assume is either an exaggeration or a result of my natural passion for the oral arts. Really, though, it's about seeing someone's shoulders relax for the first time in fucking months. It's about watching someone relax and just feel a little bit safer, happier. Also, I think he apologizes for getting into it, which is the cutest fucking thing. And it just makes me want to suck his dick even more. It's like it's a vicious cycle. I cannot get out of it. Ugh. Okay. Mel, you're number 6.
My number 6 is Black Pete.
Nice.
He is husband material. He's caring. He will. I feel like he would be willing to try anything once just to make you happy.
That's fair.
That is fair.
That's fair.
But the the thing, it's either a positive or a negative or just middle of the road. He's not afraid to set his own boundaries and be clear with communication.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. That's strong.
Allie, what about you?
My number 6 is Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a lot going on with Jim.
Yeah.
Kind of like all the time. But they've done a lot of work on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And especially lately, it really shows in kind of like every aspect of their life. They're wild, they're relentless, they're hungry, demanding, but they're also full of joy and like creativity and passion. Whatever happens between you is going to be an unbelievable trip and a wild roller coaster, unlike any that you've ever been on. But you have to be careful because either you or Jim will fall in love with the other one. And if it's not both of you at the same time on the same level, it's going to get so fucking complicated.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, James.
My number 6 is Blackbeard.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a complicated thing that you'd be entering into. And I had to think about it because obviously Blackbeard is very hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think he's had a range of sex. So really experienced too. I don't think communication is his strong suit. And I feel like the best sex that I could actually have with him is with the mask, with the bullshit, and not the man beneath.
Interesting.
I feel like you gotta be a Steed Bonnet to draw out his true potential, which means to get to maximum fuckability, there is a lot of shit you have to swim through. And I just don't want to do that.
Amen. Amen. All right, we move on to number 5, and my number 5 is Fang. I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
I know I'm gonna cry because Fang just means it. Like, Fang is genuine and present in everything he does. Like, it's not going to be the flavor of sex that I usually go for, but it's going to be real and deep and precious because that's just who Fang is. Crucially, I think you can sit in silence with Fang and it feels absolutely perfect. And if you, if you don't think, anybody out there, if you do not think that's part of good sex, think about the last time you had to make awkward chit chat post nut. No, disgusting, trash. Mel, you're number 5.
My number 5 is Nathaniel Buttons.
Yeah.
Here's why he's this high. He already knows what you want. He read it in the bones, in the tea, whatever he uses.
Fuck yeah.
He might not do what you want, but he will do what you need. And the only negative I could really think of, other than being kind of a weird dude, is he'd probably get lost in thought now and then.
Allie, you're number 5.
My number 5 is Auntie. You cannot look at Auntie and not think that this woman has everything figured out. She does. She knows things. She's done things.
Oh, yeah.
She could pull you apart like string cheese if she wanted to. She doesn't, but you might beg her to try. She doesn't do aftercare, though, so get ready.
I can't survive.
You gonna learn today, as the kids say.
All right, James, you're number 5.
My number 5 is Spanish Jackie. Now, I bet most people, when they imagine an encounter with Jackie, they imagine being a sub or a bottom. What I want you to instead envision is fucking alongside Jackie and fucking her 16 husbands with her. She has a stable, a corral. You join her at her side. Yes, the encounter is with her. It is about the two of you, but it is choreographed using the backup dancers, the sexual backup dancers that are her harem of husbands. I think it's a blast. I think it is the equivalent of having like a spa day with somebody, but you are in an orgy that is about you two.
Oh, wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so...
The concept.
God, you're blowing my mind. Because my number 4 is Spanish Jackie. And I did approach it as a sub because, like, the way she looks at her husband. Have you ever been fucked by someone who was so like unself-consciously enjoying everything about you that you were like, I'm being like eaten alive. This is insane. You ever made someone a drink while they just watched you and just were like, I'm just appreciating how you look as you do this thing. It's good shit, and she will give it to you. Mel, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Jim. The only reason they're 4 and not higher is because I think they're a little too excitable and rough around the edges sometimes. And that might make sex a little awkward. But I think that they would always be down if you asked, and it would still be good.
My number 4 is also Jim.
Yes.
Not surprising that we have aligned so often, hun. Olu saw something in Jim, and what can I say? Olu is insightful. Olu is right, especially with the caveat of them being into you. I think if Jim is passionate about something, like, it's gonna show. It's gonna show in the work, and it will be appreciated.
Okay, Allie, what about you?
My number 4 is Frenchie.
Yeah!
This encounter is super romantic, super fun, very, like, equilibrium supported, balanced. It's a great time. No notes. 10 out of 10.
I love this for Frenchie. Good job. Okay, we move on to number 3. My number 3 is Big Feels, and that is buttons. I'm on the record as being pro-biting during sex. What I'm way the fuck more into is that this guy is gonna blow my fucking mind. If you approach him in the moonlight, he's gonna fuck you in ways that didn't occur to you. I feel like Buttons is in tune with the thing. Like, I don't know if you've ever had what I guess I'm gonna call gravy basket sex. I'm not wild about that. We're gonna have to workshop it. But where you're sort of like suspended in time and there's just you and your partners. Like, it can have like a billion different flavors. But it's that sex where you sort of like decouple from reality for a while and you're just like pure emotion and animal feeling. Also, I want to bury my face in him and sniff him so hard. Buttons looks like he is important to sniff.
Interesting.
I know. This is one of those things you're just going to have to ask about later. Smells are important.
Allie's face right now is...
I want to huff this man. I don't know what face Allie's making, but I'm very interested.
It's very eyebrows up, if that helps.
Allie,
this is the face that I would call listening Muppet.
Oh, yeah. I too Muppet sometimes. Okay, Mel, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Spanish Jackie. I definitely think being her sub is going to be fucking spectacular. I think that she also, given a strap-on, will fuck like a freight train. And I do know that her pleasure will come first, but she absolutely will not leave you hanging if she likes you.
Okay. Allie, what about you?
Okay. I'm going to give you my number 3, but then I have a postscript for it.
Okay.
Number 3 is the Swede. Canonically, we know that he is astonishing in bed by Spanish Jackie's standards. You will note that I have not revealed Spanish Jackie's ranking yet, but you can guess that she's coming up.
Yeah.
If she's that high on the list, then the Swede must at least, therefore, be number 3. He's generous, unstoppable, supportive, and has no hangups or baggage. The ideal physical partner for someone who has high standards and main character syndrome. My postscript to that is, when I was creating this ranking for myself, I tried to be as objective as I could.
Brave.
Until the point at which I was comfortable enough to let my own opinion sort of bleed over into it.
Sure.
Now that we've sort of gotten into it and we've, revealed some things about ourselves, personally, Olu would be number 3 and Jim would be number 4. But I was ranking this based on the universal experience of having sex with this person.
Sure.
Gotcha. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
I'm glad that you set that straight.
Thank you.
Yes. James, you're number 3.
Number 3 is Steed Bonnet.
Whoa.
Folks, there is a lot to say about Steed Bonnet.
Okay.
First of all, there's the Saint Sebastian moment. So you know, as a sub, you can run this man fucking through and he can take it. He can take whatever you can throw at him. So there's a lot of people who are like, what if he's incompetent? Baby, you can tie him up and it doesn't fucking matter. Problem solved. The other thing about it is our Flag Means Death as a series made me look at Rhys Darby and go, this is a hot man.
Oh, yeah.
None of his previous roles would have been able to summon from me. So Steed, in his more competent moments, makes me go, oh, Rhys Darby is hot.
I can't believe you weren't there with swearwolves. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
You got to keep up.
So I just like, you know, whether he's incompetent, competent, doesn't matter. There is something fuckable about him. Does that mean that every encounter is going to be perfect? No, but that's fine.
Beautiful. Okay, now we're moving on to number 2. I have more big feels, and I'm going to make some goddamn enemies, as I often do on this show. Izzy Hands! You know what's perfect about Izzy? Everything. If I have to sell you on why fucking Izzy is the best, it's that he knows what's important in life and he cannot be budged from it. Can you even get Izzy? Can you even find a way in with Izzy? Yeah, I can. Spoilers for next month. This guy, he sticks with Edward. He protects the crew from him. Once he realizes Steed and Ed belong together, he helps guide Steed into the competence that you fucking enjoy, James. Okay. He's almost granted a pardon by Prince Ricky, and he has no fucking time for it because he knows that a pardon would be like saying that the life he lives and the people he cares about are wrong. Also, it would make Ricky happy, and fuck that. Does that make for good sex? Someone might be moved to ask. I don't know. Do you want to have sex with someone who just cares or wants you? Or do you want to have it with someone who is ready to die for you without blinking and still willing to slap the taste out of your mouth? Because sometimes that's love too. Someone who feels things across the entire spectrum of what it is to be human. And if you think there's nothing soft, nothing poetic in Izzy, remember he puts on makeup and sings La Vie en Rose for the Calypso party on a fucking whim. Izzy isn't for everyone. He ain't trying to be. That is not his job. If you're worth having, Izzy is going to do what it fucking takes to get you and to goddamn keep you. You're going to be fucked like you matter, and everything he does is going to remind you of that because that's just who the fuck he is. I love you, Izzy. I love you so much.
Yes.
Here's the thing that I'll give you, Bob.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Izzy Hands is an acquired taste.
Yes.
That taste happens to be unwashed loser. And that's fine.
No. Nope. Absolutely no. Not under no. Like,
filthy.
Look.
Like a cat from the fucking street.
This is
Jesus
my
Christ.
fucking jam. I am so all in on this shit. I studied the blade. I don't know about everybody else, but I studied for this.
Here's the thing. Bob, based on that,
Yes.
based on your presentation here today, I believe that about you.
Thank you. I can get Izzy. Not everybody else can get Izzy. I can get Izzy. I can get the fuck that Izzy is capable of, and
Someone
goddamn
needs
do
to take
I.
care of those
Ugh.
filthy
Somebody's
fucking
got
cats.
to pick up that cat off the
No.
street.
Ugh, so yummy. Did you fucking see him whenever he was doing sword forms? Jesus. Okay, Mel, go for it.
I'm sorry, what number are we on?
Number 2.
It's 2. Okay, my number 2 is Steed Bonnet. And
Okay.
here's why. I mean, to start, he's probably a little too gentle because he wants to make it good for you. I also think that he could get overly enthusiastic and possibly hurt one of us, as he has done in the past. But here's the thing that wins for me. He takes criticism really well. So he's going to do way better next time.
That's a really good point.
And he's just so fucking earnest. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he'll be there for you, and he will learn everything that you want him to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Allie, who's your number 2?
Number 2 is Spanish Jackie. There is absolutely no question whatsoever that she will rock your entire world, philosophy, religious belief, and physical limitations. She knows exactly how to get what she wants out of you. It might take you a few go-rounds to get the hang of it, but once you do, it will be phenomenal. Congratulations.
All right,
Yeah.
James, your number 2.
My number 2 is Zhang Yi Sao.
Good
Folks,
call. Good call.
my admiration for the actual historical figure is probably bleeding a little bit into this ranking. I cannot ignore the fact that this is the greatest pirate of all time. She was so competent. She commanded a navy of almost 2,000 ships. Over 80,000 men moved at her word.
Goddamn.
And the Chinese government had to pay her to retire.
Correct.
Oh.
She was never defeated.
Never
Fucking defeated. She retired to a cozy life of gambling.
Yes.
Most
Yeah.
pirates retire to the fucking sea. So this woman is on another level. Combine that with her characterization in the show. She is competent, but sweet and earnest. Like, imagine being something that she cares about. She is going to devote all of that incredible talent to making you happy, to showing you that you mean something to her.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing about her. She is somebody who does put work first in a lot of situations. I can work with that. I can work with somebody who needs head to clear their head when they are plotting a battle. Okay? I can be a part of an organization that is oriented towards success.
Yeah.
I think that the way that she would need somebody to be a good lover to her is exactly the sort of thing that I would be into. So she's so high up on this list. Absolutely earned and deserved.
Incredibly given, James. Thank you.
I am so fascinated to see who your number 1 is now. Okay, this is it. We're at the top of the fucking list. Okay, I'm going first. Blackbeard, I was trying to be, a whim of objectivity. I think he does fuck like a god because he's done it a lot. That's not really the part I give a shit about. Like, I'm not super interested. I would much rather fuck Izzy. But I do want to see him, like, fumblingly in love and trying to make Steed happy. I don't think I can get what I actually want from him, but what he's got on offer for everyone else is still going to be pretty fucking good. Like, this is a guy who has put in his 10,000 hours. He's really Malcolm Gladwell'd his way into good sex.
That's great.
Okay. All right, Mel, who is your number 1?
I'm going to preface this as I have some big feels.
Yes.
To clarify, at the beginning of this, we said that we are already into each other and it's at a level where we want to fuck.
Interesting.
Yes,
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 that's
yes,
true.
yes, yes,
That's
yes.
true.
I need to clarify that before my spouse judges me for saying that my number 1 is Izzy Hands.
Is that weird, cat?
Yes! 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 Vindification! Eat it, James!
All right. Look.
Let's see where you're going with this, counselor.
Yeah. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So he is extremely skilled physically.
Yeah.
He holds that sword like he owns it, and he can
Yeah, he
do
does.
anything with it. If he can do
Correct.
that with a sword,
Mhm.
what else can he do?
Yeah.
Like, physically speaking, he is stacked.
Yeah.
He can sing.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's some good and some bad with him. Yes, I agree.
Delicious.
I think he's a floor mattress guy. What's the point when he'd probably break the frame anyway?
Yes.
He would make you beg, but he would not leave you hanging.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd probably fuck me against a wall. And you know
Yes!
what? I'm into that.
Yes. Mel. Yes.
Yes.
Fuck. Look.
Izzy
more,
hands.
More Izzy for us.
Hey, back the fuck up.
Well, the rest of us were out partying and having premarital sex. He studied the fucking blade.
He did.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing in the bedroom.
Hold on.
No.
I mean, how do you get to being second in command on Blackbeard's ship? Not just like he would do what it takes, but also you got to be able to fuck your way up on that ship.
I can't wait. I can't wait to break it down on this fool. We're going to unpack a lot here.
Okay.
We're going to unpack a lot.
Okay. All right. Allie, you're number one.
My number one is Blackbeard.
Mm-hmm.
The sex might be rough. Might be tender. He might pretend it never happened.
Oh!
It will haunt you forever because of how mind-blowing it was. Sometimes you'll catch a glimpse of a flicker of memory in his eye from across the deck of the ship, and you'll have a spike of adrenaline, a rush of recognition, but he won't verbalize anything or confirm your suspicion that deep down it haunts him too, but maybe not. He has a lot of unresolved trauma, and he may never truly be ready to work through that. So you'll have to resign yourself to probably not being special. But in a way, isn't that part of what made it so good?
Ooh. Ow. Ow. I have to go to therapy again this week. God damn it. Okay. All right. James, you're number one.
Number one. With a bullet easy. Olu, baby!
Oh, yeah! That's my boy.
Sometimes sex is a sacred thing, and you cannot tell me that an encounter with this man is not bathed in golden fucking light.
Oh, yeah. 100%. That angel?
Ranking him low, if you have ranked him low, I can tell who has intimacy issues.
You could just say my fucking name, James.
Yeah. You're taking this to therapy on Thursday.
I think if you told your therapist like that you ranked Olu lower on a fuck list, they go, "Oh yeah, your intimacy issues. That makes sense."
Oh fuck! All right, god damn it. This is it. The golden age of piracy has led to some absolute legends and some legendary fucks. While we're picking up our flouncy white shirts and putting our swashbuckler boots back on, let's hit pause. We've heard some compelling yarns, but I dare say we have a few questions, which means it's time for Let's Unpack That.
I think to get us started off, because there are some emotions running hot and high here in the room, I figured it'd be good to get us started off with a fun pirate fact. And it's the most fun and contrived pirate fact that I have.
Okay.
Because it relies on two other pirate facts.
Okay.
One is slightly unconfirmed, but historically very likely, that there were probably a lot of homosexual pirates. Mainly because it was a job that you could do that paid good money, took you away from society for the most part, and put you around other people who would likely fuck you as well. So like, there are probably a lot of gay pirates. There's not a lot of writing that is like firsthand accounts from pirates. So most of that is speculative, but like it makes sense. The other thing is that the term buccaneer is based on a type of cooking implement, basically a barbecue stove. That people who were on logwood ships, who eventually became pirates, were so known for using, because they would, set up these barbecues basically on beaches that they landed on for logwoods. And afterwards, so like they became, oh yeah, those are the barbecue guys. So it really means when you call a pirate a buccaneer, you're saying, oh, the barbecue gays. Those are the gay people who love barbecue so goddamn much.
It's so true.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, Roach. I don't have super strong feelings about Roach, but I apparently have much stronger feelings about Roach than everybody else. Is it really just that he seems a little bit tweaky? Like, is it?
That's part of it.
It's definitely part of it. I think that he's both a sadist and a masochist that really throws me off. I worry that he is actually a sociopath and does not really, like, he is down to do literally anything, hurt someone, help someone, if it appeals to him. And that, devil may care attitude, in health-wise, it puts me off a bit.
If someone walks away from the encounter missing a digit or, God forbid, a limb, it's not going to bother him that much.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue.
I feel like Roach is easy to control in that way. That I feel like if you just had a spray bottle, it's fine. I feel like the problem is
now,
over.
when we start introducing colors and spray bottles to the situation, I feel like a lot of problems can be corrected for a lot of the cast here. Yeah, I think, Bob, I feel like you just, you have a higher tolerance for the abyss.
I do.
And so what reads as red flags to us, it's just flags in rose-colored glasses.
Oh, I do love that line. Sorry, now I'm just thinking about BoJack Horseman, another character who I would fuck and probably shouldn't.
Oh, God!
No,
wow.
Look.
The cartoon animal list, yeah.
That one I know is a bad choice. These other choices I've made here today are good choices. I say to the camera, these are good choices I've made.
Say to the camera.
Don't stop me. Don't try to save me. I'm having a great time.
Don't try to stop me.
Oh man,
do not resuscitate.
Yeah, please leave me. Fuck, I want to see what the buttons ranking. Okay. Oh man. Okay, so only Allie ranked buttons below the median. Okay, Allie and James, because James, you had him at 8. Allie, you had buttons at 12. Do you feel like everything above it was really something that you wanted, or is it buttons just there's not enough there?
For me, it was unique but unreliable. He's into a lot of freaky stuff, and freaky spiritual sex, but I don't know that necessarily translates to good. You hear about tantric people. I don't know that I'd have the fucking patience for them. And this is weirder than that. Whatever weird sex thing, he does something weirder than it. He is on the exact line between man and beast.
He is.
And I don't know how reliable that is.
I think, along the same line, but from my POV, like I said, he's done everything. And things that you can't even think of, he's done. Nothing surprises him. He knows how to navigate that expertly, which to me feels like, I don't know, I got a vibe of he would be here to educate me on something. Or he's not pursuing me. He's into it. He's open to it per the rules of the agreement, but he's not going to partner with me.
Where do his priorities lie?
Yeah.
Turning into a fucking bird.
Yes. And I respect that. I fully respect that.
I respect the man.
I respect
the man.
I think he's really cool.
I respect the bird.
I respect the bird. I don't think this is going to be a fun time for me.
No, but okay. Let me just look. Very short fan fiction. Okay. You are on... What am I doing here? Well, it's my podcast. I'm going to do this. Why am I stopping myself?
Go for it.
This is my birthday party. God damn it. Okay. So, okay, you're on the ship. You have a room to yourself somehow. Details. Your window is open. A seagull comes in, transforms into Buttons. Buttons is back, and Buttons is like, I couldn't stay away.
Now, it gives up being a bird for me.
Well,
it probably goes back and forth.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like Tobias.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want a Tobias fuck, but a seagull?
I feel like that's different. I don't think you can bring Tobias into this.
Yeah.
Tobias doesn't get a choice.
Yeah.
Tobias eventually got to morph back into his human body.
That's not the point.
Well, Tobias got lost in the sauce in the
Tobias
whole
got lost in the sauce.
Here's the thing. He's number 8 on my list. He's not a no. I just don't think he can reliably fuck better than anyone that I ranked above him.
Oh my God.
Because it's too swingy. It's too swingy.
What is even a bad fuck with Buttons? There's not a bad fuck. Is there a bad fuck, James?
It could involve pickled fish, for all I fucking know. He's on some other shit, some weird shit.
I mean, he bit Lucius's finger off, and we do not care about that. We are 100% about.
No, that's not what I'm concerned about. Because I'm not annoying like Lucius is. So I know that my fingers are safe.
We all know in our hearts we're better than Lucius, so we'd be fine.
We're different.
And that's what works so much for him in our encounters.
Okay, Mel, why are we so right about Izzy? Why?
So you're finally ready to talk about the fucking cat, huh?
I don't know who else is trying to talk here. Mel, why are we so right about Israel hands? Tell me your top 3 sexy Izzy moments in the show where you were like, that man though.
Fucking propaganda for Israel. Not surprising.
James. Here's the thing. This ranking surprised the shit out of me for several reasons. It did, because the girlies on the internet are very pro Izzy hands.
Oh,
they are.
I mean,
and whenever the girlies are very pro someone, I am not.
Mm-hmm.
It is not me. Prior to yesterday, when I did this list,
you had the moment.
He was not. Yeah, I had because the qualifications are you are into each other, and there is no other thing about it. How would he physically fuck you? How would that be in that moment? That is what brought me to where I am now.
Wow.
Because I think he is a very physical person. I think that when he is dedicated, he is fucking dedicated. He ruined his entire life by following Blackbeard.
So hot! So hot!
The dedication is really hot.
Yeah!
And it just... And, physically, he could absolutely throw me if he wanted to. And that's big for me.
I mean,
I think by the math that you are putting down, I don't I'm not taking issue with you or your ranking. I am saying out of everybody on the cast of the show,
this feels judgy.
Out of everyone that we have discussed, Easy Hands most naturally morphs into a character from Cats 2019 directed by Tom Hooper. And it's a filthy fucking street cat. He's gross. He jumps on your couch and leaves streaks behind.
If Allie wasn't connected to this table by a headphone cord, she would be walking away.
I had to stand up.
James, so we did an episode on the 2019
cats. I know. And if I put Izzy Hands on that list, no one would fucking notice.
No, I just want look, you are only selling me more. This that's not who he is to me, but if he was, that would only help. I'm like, a raggedy ass cat man.
Here's the thing. You also say that he knows what's important in life.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he figured it out in the second season.
He was explicitly wrong about everything for more than half the run of the show.
But guess what? He understood that he was wrong and he fucking changed his goddamn life about it. Whereas Blackbeard's over here swinging in the breeze. Just depends on the moment. He's like, am I with you? Am I not with you? Am I with you? Am I not? Oh, I think last night was a mistake. Izzy would never say that. Izzy would go I'm going to do it again right the fuck now and for the rest of my goddamn life until one of us dies. No, Blackbeard is unreliable. Ugh, fucking, I would still
I
fuck
don't want to pet that cat. I don't want to pet that cat.
Look, I'm just saying.
You can't make me.
I want this cat and I love this cat and this cat is mine forever and I love him.
It really does feel, James, you're right though. It really does feel like when people are like, oh my God,
dying.
It really feels like someone who was like, oh my God, you have a cat? I have a cat. Here's my cat. And they show you a picture and you're like, oh. Oh. Are you sure?
Okay. Kraken Blackbeard or Ed? Preferences.
Here's the thing. I think the sex that you could have with Ed is better. I think it's better because he still has all of the powers of Kraken Blackbeard, but he is more emotionally present and therefore will be more in tune with you. I think Kraken Blackbeard is just fucking good at sex. As it was said, put in his 10,000 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Good at it. But if he is in tune with you, he will be able to elevate that beyond levels. And the reason that he didn't rank higher for me is I can't put in that work. That is so much work for this man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
To be broken up with like twice.
Right. He's
that's what
shitty
Blackbeard
boyfriend.
does. Like, I'm not going through that for Blackbeard. I can't. I got too much going on.
Izzy would only break up with you once. I'm just saying.
Of course, because he's got nowhere else to go. He's a gross cat.
He can't get off the ship.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Controversial, maybe, but
Yeah.
Ed and Kraken Blackbeard. That's the same picture to me.
Oh, whoa.
It's the same picture to me.
That,
It's
that is
the Office meme.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the same
Office
picture.
meme. Yep.
And my answer still stands. It would be incredible. It would be haunting. It would be passionate.
Yeah.
It would ruin me for the rest of my life, and I will never stop thinking about it at the end.
Yeah. Sure.
But I won't regret it. It will ruin me for the rest of my life, and I won't regret it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the end.
Yeah. Some fucks do be like that, as they say.
So here's the thing that I kind of want to unpack. And this is not to call anybody out because I think we're all guilty of this.
Okay.
We have listed like instability, inconsistency as like a drawback for a lot of different characters.
We have.
Jim is very high on our collective lists.
Oh.
You know, and like maybe that's just something that we need to think about.
Not on mine, because I saw that coming, and I was like, ooh, this is going to be swingy in a scary, emotional way.
Sure.
I don't like. I'm okay going to therapy. I'm not super okay with at any moment I could do something that could make somebody else give me the look of like I'm upset and angry in ways that I'm not fully aware of, and now I have to go to therapy, and I'm like, oh no. I feel like Jim is a real danger in that regard, but so hot.
Yeah.
So hot.
Oh, so hot.
So hot.
I mean, the way the character throws knives. Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
kidding?
Yep.
It's also the we as the audience, right? We have the luxury of being on the outside, being able to see Jim as they are at the beginning of season 1.
Yeah.
Versus the Jim we see at the end of season 2.
Fuck.
And how satisfying that is to see this person decide who they really want to be and be that person. Now, the other stuff that comes after you've decided to be who you want to be, the other stuff that's complicated and tricky and like you have to really go inwards and like heal your inner child and shit. Like, yeah, that's complicated. But we are all very drawn to the concept of this person becoming their true self, not necessarily their best self, but their truest self. That's incredibly hot.
Yeah.
And we're teeter-tottering, right? We're teeter-tottering on the edge of that might be worth it. Like that it might be worth it.
Yeah. Getting to like be with somebody as they're sort of like becoming their selfest self. That's pretty fucking hot. Okay. I have 2 other questions. I don't know if anybody else has other questions.
Go for it.
Like, okay, you've left life on the high seas. You're setting up your kind of land-based polycule that you're going to like, you know, set up with.
Okay.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Let's limit it to 3. Just because otherwise I know. Look, it could be 1 billion,
and
but otherwise things are gonna get crazy. We just say the whole crew, but maybe should it just be the whole crew? Is that the way to go?
I mean, no.
But what if?
No, because the problem is that I'm also taking a bunch of stinkers along with me.
Okay, so you're setting up your dream team. Okay, James, your dream team.
I mean, dream team, and like this is like both predicated on like how good I think they are at fucking and how suited I think the group would be to transition to civilian life. Again,
and
it's
coexisting.
Olu, it's Zing, and you know, probably Jim.
James.
Like,
James.
Yeah.
That's
Doctor?
it. That's Doctor.
Damn.
I concur.
That is.
And
that's
then
really
catch
strong
me
team.
on the veranda, looking wistfully out to sea, wondering if Ed is still thinking about me.
Yes.
Fuck.
Well, welcome. Yeah, you.
And I'm happy. I'm a Pisces. I love that.
We're in the same polycule alley.
Yes.
It's working out for us. We are spending
We're
the
winning.
Chinese government's money.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay, what about you, Mel?
Oh, I'm
I know.
waffling.
It's like picking a Pokemon team. It's hard.
It's
Right?
really difficult because everybody's a different type and you don't know what you need to be prepared for.
Yeah, and the thing is, the transition to civilian life is challenging.
I can tell you the one person I will not take, and that is Izzy. Because I don't think he could conform to a civilian life.
Not house trained.
No, he's not house trained. He will shit on your carpet and you will be so
He's
mad.
ripping up your furniture.
Yep.
His piss smells worse
No, Jay,
than
worse than our
anything
cat.
anyone has ever smelled in their lives.
Our cat has the worst smelling urine. I have had
Do you
several.
want to say
I've
your
had
cat's
two cats
name
in the same house.
And that way, like, shame your cat?
Hero! We're fucking
This
calling him
asshole.
out.
Yeah.
His name is Hero, and it should be Villain. We fucked up.
Yeah, you did.
God, the two people that have proven they can live on land, Steed and Spanish Jackie. Also, because Steed can take orders, I think that he could conform. And I'm really waffling on the third, and it might be Wee John.
Ooh, that's I
Solid.
like that combo.
That's solid.
It's
That's
I
interesting.
like that a lot.
I think that group would work really well together and satisfy every variation that I'm looking for.
So I want Izzy, but you're right. If this is on land, Izzy cannot do land.
Yep.
That being the case, fuck, you know what? I think I might actually set up as like just a booty call or like a person who's they come visit me. Because I think, and that I definitely want Izzy, I definitely want Buttons, and I definitely want Fang. Then, because I mean, like, it's just all these like beautiful comets in my life. How beautiful, like, every day I open my door and it's like, something wonderful from the sea has arrived for me. The dream.
It is I, the beautiful Saturn.
Yes.
If I have to set up on land and I'm like living a land life, definitely want Frenchie. Fuck.
Roach is like right there for a cook.
Roach
Like,
is, but
I think about that cake all the time.
I feel like, actually, you know what? I'll kick it with Spanish Jackie and the Swede, and like Frenchie is Frenchie's like my beautiful little pet that like I get to keep with me.
Absolutely. Here's the thing about
I'll
Spanish
be in
Jackie.
her polycule. Like I'll
Sure.
I'll live
Exactly.
with her life. That's fine.
Exactly.
That's 100%.
She would
fine.
organize everything. We wouldn't have to do shit. She would just create a new business. It would just happen, and we would be so comfortable.
So smart, so clever. And like, here's the thing. I think we have all essentially said the same thing. You've pinned it on Spanish Jackie. Allie and I have pinned it on Zheng Yusao. Like, her, Allie, planning our vacations. I know they're fucking taken care of.
And they're awesome. Because
That's what you want.
she does, in fact, enjoy the finer things in life. She works hard. She plays hard.
And here's the thing. Who's carrying our bags? Olu is. He offered to do it, and we can't. We've insisted, no, I'm fine. And he's like, no, I've got it. It reaches a point where you can't say no to him.
Yeah. Right? Because at that point, he's like, oh no, am I doing something wrong? And you're like, no, baby, it's not that. It's not that.
No. Yeah. And we know too, like, especially when we're going on these long cruises, we're packing a lot of stuff. The luggage is very heavy and there's a lot of it. And he's carrying it. He's only getting stronger.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We've talked about characters who can pick us up and fuck us against the wall. Olu can do that for all of us at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, so could we, John.
So could we, John. Yes.
So could we, John.
That's why I put him on my team, because
Yep.
strong.
And then Olu's going to do that, and we're all going to be like, holy shit, thank you so much. That was amazing. And he's going to be like, just basking in the glow of the praise that we heap on him.
Yeah.
Satisfying.
Well, do you want to know what our combined rankings are?
Let's find out the science, folks. The science.
Let's get it.
Number 19, I think surprising nobody. Ricky Barnes. Piece of shit.
Fuck that guy.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Right down there at the bottom, Captain Nigel Badminton.
Fuck that guy.
Then I feel a little bad about this. Ivan, look, we hardly knew ye.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the problem.
That's the thing. We didn't get a lot of personality.
Number 16 is Roach. Okay. I'm not going to fight too hard about it.
Sure.
Tied for 15. This is an interesting thruple. Lucius, Black Pete, and Auntie.
Woof.
Wow.
I mean, she's going to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
We can't leave them in a room together. It's like the fox, the chicken, and the ear of corn, and the boat. We can't leave them together.
Sorry, I immediately was like, "Oh my god, you can't leave them with the boat. What the fuck's the boat gonna do?" And then I was like, then I rejoined reality.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, completely me.
We're past let's unpack that, but like,
Okay.
the fact that Auntie is ranking so low, we
I
need to
know.
do something about everybody's confidence.
Yes.
Everybody needs to go to a boot camp.
Oh no!
Oh.
But like, why shouldn't we strive for that?
Yeah.
I just don't want to be told what to do all of the time. All of
Here's
the
the thing.
time.
Here's the thing. I agree with you on that principle. I don't think that Auntie's going to say a lot. I think it's going to all be conveyed through looks.
Yeah, that's not going to work for me. I need explicit conversation.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm fucking Auntie. I'm not living with Auntie.
Right.
We all know the drill there. It's fine.
Number 12, I feel a little bad about this, is Zheng Yi Sao. That seems way too low.
And you
It
should,
really
you
seems
should feel
too
bad.
low. It's too low.
Number
How did this
11
happen?
I know, probably me. Usually that's how these things happen. Number 11 is Kevin/Fang. Number 10 is Wee John Feeney. And then tied for number 9, this is a little weird. This is our median, is Steed and Izzy.
Whoa! I love that those two ended up together. That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
that is
funny.
a wild
Both cat boys, but one of them very pretty.
So pretty.
oh my god, he is such
Very
a
Lady and the Tramp.
God, that's such a weird. I think neither of them will be pleased with this
No.
outcome, but for different
That's
reasons.
extraordinarily funny, though.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Number 7, the Swede, done well for himself. Number 6 is Olu. Number 5, Frenchie.
Frenchie.
Number 4 is Buttons.
Yeah.
Number
there we go.
3. I know. I mean, look, the call of the sea. Have we not all felt it?
The sea calls.
The sea calls to a man.
Number 3 is Jim. Number 2 is Blackbeard. And number 1, I think rightfully fucking so, is Spanish Jackie.
Spanish Jackie.
Yeah.
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 I was
Yeah.
very happy that our group was very much, oh, this person is a top shooter. This person really belongs
Yeah.
high on the list.
Mhm.
It would have been
Mhm.
shocking if it were otherwise, truly.
Okay, and with that, now we turn to our ranking of the world of our flag means death writ large overall. On a scale of 1 to 10 boners, 10 being the most boners a person could possibly ever have, how fuckable is the world of our flag means death?
I wrestled with this one. I wrestle with each time I'm making
Oh, yeah.
a determination.
Mhm.
I have to, take a look at when my hard no's start. And they don't start until pretty much lower on the list. I feel like it's a 7 out of 10. I feel like those at the top are like really pulling things up. And those at the bottom of the list, like, it's bad, but they're not the most nightmarishly bad
Mhm.
that has appeared on other lists. So I feel like it does pretty well just by law of averages.
I wasn't sure if the pirate life was for me, but today I've learned that it is. I think I could genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would enjoy the long days at sea, but I'm sure we could find a way to enjoy the long days at sea. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 boners.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. As someone who has enjoyed learning in depth about the history of piracy, as James has over the years, and as someone who had some kind of like adolescent awakening to Avi's book, The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle, and whose first quote unquote novel that she wrote while in high school is about female pirates.
Yeah.
And a love triangle with a naval captain. Yeah, I feel like it's a 9 at least out of 10.
Nice.
Beautiful. I got to give it 10 because there are no-nos on my list.
10 out of 10.
I would fuck every single one of them. I would have mixed feelings about it, and some of them I would go, I wouldn't do that again, but there is nobody who I could not get something out of the experience and go, All right.
Bob, I'm surprised because of the lists that I've heard you rank on, and it's been many at this point,
Yeah.
I feel like there's not that much physical danger. And here's the thing. I've also...
When did
Go
this become
on.
a roast?
We've also...
When Bob invited all of us.
Here's how it is making sense to me, because I've
Okay,
talked
okay.
about the morphic quality of like Izzy Hands is like inches away from appearing in Tom Hooper's Cats 2019.
God.
Yum, 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 yum.
I think we are also weirdly on an axis where we're inches away from everybody being Muppets. So
Yes,
it
yes,
does make sense.
yes,
It does make
yes.
sense.
It is.
Yes.
I feel at home among these people as a fellow
Sure.
Muppet.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
It's where I belong. So I'm like, oh, no, all of you, even you, Ricky, even you fucking.
Even Ricky.
Ugh.
Even this Muppet asshole. Like, I'd still
Yep.
fuck an asshole who's a Muppet.
Sure.
Jesus.
That would soften the blow, certainly.
Okay, now.
That is
It's-
why we're married.
Now, what did anybody learn here today?
What did we learn?
What did
what
you
did we
learn
learn?
about yourself, about one another, about the sea?
Looking at these folks unobjectively, and objectively, about the way that they would care for you,
Yes.
Mhm.
really taught me a lot about what I value in a sexual relationship.
This show will do that,
Mhm.
whether you want it to or not.
I think, I mean, it's hard to say that I learned this here, but it does illustrate my respect for powerful women who are extremely competent. And I think what I learned is I have to be very careful about whom I allow to adopt a cat.
One, I learned that Allie has had a miraculous life where she met a Frisian and got to ride one.
Mhm.
So I feel like I'm in.
On a first name basis with a Frisian.
Thank
I
you for
know.
reminding the committee. I appreciate that.
No, that's extremely important to me. But
Let's drop that horse girl
I
alarm in there.
rarely get to brag about this stuff. Thank you, Bob.
We can't do a weird choices about horse breeds because that would be too weird.
No,
But
you
that's-
absolutely can. No,
I-
that makes sense. Bob, it's a weird choices. Maybe it's bad choices. I would listen. Here's the thing. As a listener to the show, I would listen to that because you're not
James,
talking
I don't
about
know.
fucking
Are
a
you
horse.
the best sample size for what? I don't know.
You're talking about
absolutely
fucking
not.
the energy that a horse
That's
breed
true.
has.
Okay,
And
that's
I
true.
would love
'Cause they
to
are-
hear
So,
the explanation.
So then
Yeah.
the lens
Fuck
is then
thoroughbreds.
if a human, correct, if a human had the energy that this horse breed is
Yeah,
raising.
exactly.
Okay. All right. Allie, do you want to do?
Yeah.
Bob,
Do
I
you
think
wanna
we
do-
have to.
Okay. All right.
I
okay.
feel like, yeah.
I mean, I learned what my podcasting schedule looks like.
What kind of debauched podcast life does Bob lead? The kind where you can have a whole little conversation in the middle of an episode about the prospect of rating the fuckability of horse breeds and have it completely slip your mind that you just recorded an episode where you ranked the fuckability of dog breeds. It's impossible to blame them. Are they supposed to remember every boner they've had in every corner of the animal kingdom? It's impossible. It's like that picture of the guy trying to hold all the limes, except it's boners. That's Meg and Bob. But they've asked me, the editor, to amend the record to let you know that in the recent Weird Choices Rifts episode, I and Meg and Bob did discuss dog boys, who are sort of like post-apocalyptic future anthro dogs. And in that discussion, we did discuss a bunch of different breeds of dog boys based on real-life dog breeds and talk about their fuckability. Do I clearly remember what we said? No. We were both drinking a lot of Cointreau at the time, but I do remember that it happened. I do not have quite as busy a schedule as Bob does, and I'm thus able to barely hold all these boners. Once again, that is the Weird Choices Rifts episode, a Patreon-exclusive bonus episode that you can find by heading on over to patreon.com/hardchoices and signing up at any tier. And also, if Weird Choices Horse Breeds happens, which it sounds like it will, and you happen to have a big juicy line for that, you'll also need to be a patron to hear that when it comes out. Okay, back to the episode.
The other thing I learned is I am weirdly, but I don't know if it's like turned on by or just like allured by the idea of a man who pursues something so single-mindedly that he turns into a fucking bird. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that moment. I didn't cry, but I have cried about it since then. Thinking about like the loving the sea that much and going, no, like that Buttons is the wisest person in the world.
Yes.
I think is what I
Sure.
learned. Fuck that.
Absolutely.
I love this weird man.
I don't disagree with that at all.
I bet he smells like dreams.
I mean, he might. Yeah.
I know. It doesn't make any sense, James. It doesn't have to. It's Buttons. He smells like dreams.
Sure, you're right.
That's real.
You're
That's
right.
real. That's real. What did I learn? I learned that. Okay, so when I was making my case for Olu, and I kind of said, sort of as an afterthought, I see a lot of myself in Olu. I think I didn't realize that until this conversation.
Oh,
Does that make sense? Like, I
Yeah.
think I was describing the way I would perceive that kind of physical relationship with Olu, but also with the emotions mixed in. But I think it made me realize that in watching the show, I loved Olu immediately. And it's because Olu is the kind of character in that space that I would be.
Oh,
Like, I would be head over heels for Jim and
Yeah.
not say a damn word about it for years. And then when things get miscommunicated, I would be hurt. And then I would not say anything because I don't want to hurt them back. And like, you know what I mean? Like, that's me in that space is Olu. Yeah. So I think I learned that in this conversation, that that's where I would see myself. And that's unusual for me.
I am so happy for you.
Yeah, that's a very profound moment, I think.
It is beautiful
That's not
whenever
common for me.
somebody realizes that they can be their own type in like a way. You know, like it's usually nobody ranks themselves at number one and goes like, I am this type and it's me.
As someone who's
But, like-
famously done that on this show.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to name names. There was a guy who did it. There was a really ballsy motherfucker who came on the show and did that. But yeah, it's beautiful to see anybody like go, yeah, actually me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm so happy for you. And on your
Thank
first
you.
time on the show.
Yeah. Thank you for holding space for me.
Oh, thank you. That's what I try to do here on Hard Choices, which is a weird thing to do on a podcast about fuckability.
Yeah.
All right, now that brings us round to ye old plugs. Allie, what would you like to let the world know about?
I mean, is it appropriate, do you think, James, for me to plug the all ages friendly actual play that I work with?
You know, hey, we appreciate all listeners, even
We
the
do.
freaks. Even the freaks.
If you like turning into a bird,
Yeah.
If you
listen
like
to Skyjack's Courier's Call.
someone who hangs out with a ratty cat, we got that as well.
We got that as well.
Ooh.
That is true. Lysander's not a ratty cat.
No, I
Lysander's a
guess-
good cat.
yeah,
That's
she's
a good cat.
she's-
Skyjack's Courier's Call is an all ages friendly actual play podcast set in the world of Skyjacks, of the world of Sphere, created by James D'Amato and several very talented freelance writers and creators.
But expanded so beautifully by the world of Skyjack's Courier's Call.
It's a good time. It's about skyships, mail carriers, giant rideable birds, and kids just like you. Big adventures, big dreams, big consequences. And season 3 is about to start here very shortly.
And those consequences are a coming.
Oh
folks.
boy, it's gonna be a time. I also write fiction. It's out there. You can search Allie Grauer or Allison Grauer and find some short fiction that I've written and published on the internet, as well as my first novel, On the Isle of Sound and Wonder, which is a steampunk retelling of Shakespeare's The Tempest. I haven't plugged that in a really long time, but it's a good one. There's queer stuff in it. And God, what else? We got a Patreon. I have a Patreon with my husband, Drew Merzieski, who also works on Skyjack's Courier's Call and many other things that I've worked on over the years. You can get in on there and find some archives of stuff, things we've written, things we've gamed, things we've created. I post cosplay behind the scenes there because I also do cosplay stuff. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, may it rest in peace, and
Holy
Blue Sky
shit.
at Dreams to Become. I'm there everywhere. It's all me. Different aspects of me, but it's all me.
Wow.
You can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet at Melorella, MELERELLA. come follow me on Instagram, because that's pretty much the only social media that I kind of actually look at these days because it's the least depressing.
And there's going to be some good cosplay pics on there.
Mel and I do cosplay.
We got a lot of cosplay pics coming. We just got back from Anime Milwaukee, and we had 2 photo shoots, and I'm really, really excited to see the finished photos from that and show everyone that.
Yeah. These 2 disembodied voices will be Crowley and Aziraphale. That is something that you want to appreciate.
You want to talk about stuff. That's it.
Think about 80s hair metal Crowley. That's what I did.
Well, punk Crowley. Hair
Punk.
metal is different.
Yeah, but my hair is insane.
Yes.
Anyways, I did
Emotions.
some wild stuff. Really excited to show people.
Oh, fuck. I'm so excited.
The one other thing I want to plug, because I love this thing that we do, is we have a podcast in the house. It is currently behind a paywall on Patreon.
Although there is a public feed. There is a public feed.
There is?
There's for the first 5 episodes.
Okay,
you can check this out wherever podcasts are sold. And also, if you join as a free member on the One Shot Patreon, you get the full first season.
Yes.
That's cool.
And the reason, like, here...
We didn't drop the name of the show.
Go.
The show is called Starwall. It is an in-house production. It is me and James and Allie and Drew. We all live in the same house. Spoiler alert. But we are having the time of our fucking lives making this silly, ridiculous world. And I think that what we're making brings us joy. And I think that it will bring you joy.
Absolutely. If I may, if you like Adventure Time's weirdness.
Yeah.
If you like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If you like, Steven Universe levels of emotion, there's a lot of vibes happening, and that's in fact one of the central themes of the show. Everything is weird. Everything is possible. It continues to get weirder and funnier. No one is stopping us. Help! Come listen. It's great.
I just need more people to talk about it because I'm having a lot of fucking fun, and
it's so much fun.
I want more people.
I know what I'm
it's
doing with my night now.
I'll do my plug. It's gonna be real quick. Campaign Skyjacks. Come check it out. The home of the world is fear. Pirates, queer pirates. That is the show is about that in a piratical world inspired by the music of the Decemberists. So if you like,
get emotional,
if you like the feelings, if you like death, baby, we've got your number.
Come
it's
on
there.
over.
It's there. You can also. I'm also an author somehow. I've got a new
inexplicably
fucking are.
James D'Amato.
I've got a brand new book coming out in just a few days from the time of this recording, The Ultimate RPG Game Master's Guide.
God damn.
If you've listened to my work on Campaign Skyjacks or the One Shot podcast, and you want me to unpack my philosophy on game mastering, that is the book you are looking for. But folks, I want you to look to the horizon real quick. I want you to look into the future to September 22nd, because on that day, Simon & Schuster, or I should say Adams Media, an imprint of Simon & Schuster, is going to release a role-playing game. And that is Oh Captain, My Captain. Is it a role-playing game about pirates? Yes, and also potentially yes, because you can expand beyond pirates. But it is a game about a crew following a extremely competent and enigmatic captain and the complicated relationship they have with that figure.
Yes.
If you liked Our Flag Means Death, you will like this game. You can pre-order it now. If it sounds like your jam, I would deeply appreciate the pre-order because I'm trying to convince my publisher that this is a huge success so I can get them to publish more role-playing games and pay more game designers.
Yes.
You can check that out at bit.ly/OCaptainRPG or bit.ly/MyCaptainRPG.
All right. And for me, the creator behind Hard Choices, friends, gather close. Do you want to hear James and I get kind of tipsy and talk about what it would be like to fuck Yogi Bear? Good news. Bad Choices, the live and intoxicated version of Hard Choices, is coming to you live on 4/20. That was a total scheduling coincidence, but it does work out.
Nice.
5 p.m. Pacific, and we are fucking our way through Hanna-Barbera. Guess who had some childhood feelings about Hong Kong Phooey that I'm going to subject you to?
Oh,
I know. He gets changed in a filing cabinet.
He does. I
All right,
forgot about that.
If you want to come, all you got to do is be a Hard Choices patron at the $4.20 level. Also a coincidence, but it does work out very nicely. And you're in. You will also, if you cannot make it at that time, if you subscribe to the Hard Choices Patreon, you also get the raunchy podcast version of it once it's all edited up. And you get access to all the juicy bonus episodes like Weird Choices, which James and I need to schedule Weird Choices. Obviously now have a Weird Choices that I need to schedule with Allie about horse breeds.
I can't wait to learn about horse breeds through the weirdest lens imaginable.
I know. We're like going to get very salty. We're like, I can't even believe this fucking horse.
We're both like, okay, all right, yeah, fine.
No, I see what you're doing. Oh my God.
Fine.
Also, if you are a patron, you get to vote on which 2 Hanna-Barbera characters I write an absolutely cursed fanfic of. Cursed. A sexy fanfic that we will then read during Bad Choices at the end of the night, whenever we are at our worst. Am I going to possibly use this as an excuse to make James do his sexiest Zorak impression?
Yes!
Bitch, I might, but I can only do it with your help. Only you can make this possible. Go to patreon.com/hardchoices and sign up at the $4.20 level so you can make this dream, this wonderful possibility, into a reality. Make James a sexy space mantis.
You fucking coward.
Or Yogi Bear. Look, or Huckleberry Hound.
What are you afraid of? That it'll awaken something in you?
Incredible.
And if you want to stay on the main feed, come back next month for Street Fighter, which I've been waiting for fucking ages.
Oof, that's going to be a good one.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, stay hard. This has been Hard Choices. If you want to show your support and get even more goofs from behind the scenes, visit patreon.com/hard choices and become a patron. You'll get exclusive voting rights and participation in every weird new thing we do. If you like the show, please consider leaving a 5-star rating and review on the podcatcher of your choice. It shows people what's fun about the show and makes it easier for others to find it too. Hard Choices is produced by Megan Bob. Our theme song is Funk Me by Soundroll. This piece and all music used in this production is licensed through Uppbeat. You can find details in our show notes and listen to more great tunes at uppbeat.io, spelled UPPBEAT.io. The Hard Choices logo is designed by Claire Mulcairn. If you'd like to get into touch with us, look for the Smash Fiction Fan Faction on Facebook and join the conversation. Thank you so much for listening and hanging out with us. You're a peach!